everyone. Emily Drury from NASDAQ here at the Open Cloud Summit in San Francisco. Right now I'm joined by Ramin, Sayar, President and CEO of Sumo Logic. Thank you so much for joining me.
Great to be here.
So first and foremost, let's start off with what is Sumo Logic for our audience who might not be familiar?
Yeah, so Sumo Logic was founded nearly 10 years ago with the mission to democratize data analytics. And effectively, we wanted to empower the people that were building the next generation of modern applications, as well as the next generation of security, intelligence. And so we took a very early bet to build a cloud-native software as a service offering, where it took a lot of the headache away from employees in terms of how you have to install, set up, and administer software, and they could focus on their core competencies of getting intelligence out of the systems, and more importantly, the services that they're trying to deliver to their end users.
So for someone who might not be familiar with software on the back end, how does this kind of appear to them in daily life?
Well, I mean, the best way to probably describe that is through customer examples. So we have 2,000 plus enterprise customers that fundamentally leverage Sumo Logic to get intelligence across their development teams, their operation teams, and their security teams, so they can collaborate and communicate in a much more effective and, more importantly, rapid manner. So if you use a gaming example, and the most popular game is these multiplayer concurrent games right now that are taking place. And so we help one of the largest gaming companies be able to get real-time understanding of what the player interaction is in the game. So one particular scene where a cannon grenade launcher was launched and a player accidentally jumped over and landed on it, got shot off, was intelligence that they gleaned from using Sumo Logic. But it goes all the way to the other side of the coin, because it's not just the cloud native companies building games or services, it's all the traditional enterprise companies that are now migrating to the cloud. So we all travel, right? We experience the headaches associated with travel, delayed flights and baggage and all that kind of stuff. So we do a lot for a lot of the airlines that are trying to drive customer intimacy. They're trying to drive a customer one platform service, so to speak, so that when a flight is delayed, or when you check in online versus at the gate, they can real-time update you in terms of any sort of changes in that experience or service. But it doesn't just stop at the front end of the experience. They also are using us to determine preventative maintenance issues with planes, so that the number one concern is safety in the sky. Right. So while everything's talking about digital transformation and the customer experience, it's also about safety and security. And that's the benefit of the platform that Sumo provides, that only Sumo provides as a cloud native service to companies either cloud native or going through their migration to the cloud.
So the two examples you gave were very interesting because they're super different industries. So there's obviously a lot of opportunity here. How big is the market opportunity for you?
Yeah, so I mean, we've assessed the market from a variety of means, the bottoms up model, the top down model, and it's north of a $60 billion TAM and growing at a phenomenal CAGR. And I think the reason that's growing at a phenomenal CAGR is the traditional old world of how you build software and how you manage software has fundamentally changed. Everything's moving to new technologies using cloud native technologies or things like container orchestration technologies to give that agility and speed to be able to respond to digital needs and customer interactions at a much faster pace. So that actually perpetuates a whole new transformation of the entire stack, meaning infrastructure to operations to security. And so if you look at that coupled with big data, that accumulates up to a $65+ billion TAM that we're addressing.
So how far along do you think we are in the transition to cloud native?
I think fortunately, unfortunately, there's two ways of answering that. Fortunately, I think it's early innings, and I think there's a lot of opportunity. Unfortunately, I think there's a lot of noise, and I think there's a lot of confusion still that cloud is saturated, and I fundamentally disagree. I think we're at the third inning at most in this long World Series debate, and I should say battle. And as we witnessed with the recent World Series in terms of the last games, that could be evidence to how this is going to play out. It's uncertain which cloud vendor and provider is going to win. And customers want choice, and so they're not going to lock themselves into one, they're going to use more than one. Secondly, customers are going to move to software as a service versus having to install and manage software themselves. And third, customers need more than just analog reporting. They need continuous real-time intelligence to be able to make those informed decisions. Hence, the space for big data and intelligence and machine learning and things that we do around anomaly detection and AI is yet another driver of this growth and an indication that it's still very early.
So we're very early on in this long game that you're speaking of. How do you balance the opportunities between short and long-term benefits for your company?
Yeah, so for us, we think about this from a horizon model perspective. And if you're familiar with Jeffrey Moore's philosophy of crossing the chasm or inside the bowling alley and tornado, you have to have a conscious strategy of how you actually bet in Horizon 1 versus Horizon 2 versus Horizon 3. And this isn't just a product strategy, this is also how your go-to-market strategy needs to evolve. Because while a lot of people get fixated on innovation through IP and product, you can actually innovate through packaging and licensing, pricing, and go-to-market models that help fuel and grow your business as well. So we look at our business through horizons, and we look at our business more specifically as to phases of adoption that we see in terms of the market. And so whether that be domestic, whether that be international, whether that be direct versus indirect, we look at all dimensions of our business, and it's like a three-dimensional chess game that you're playing constantly. And it's exciting, but challenging.
I was going to say, it sounds fun,
yeah,
but challenging. So last but not least, I want you to share some advice that you might have for the next generation of folks looking to enter this industry and be a part of this long game.
Build for the future. Make the big bets early. We, 10 years ago, made a big bet on cloud. And I think that is, if any startup was I was to advise or invest in or partner with, I would make sure that they started in the cloud and leverage that, because the time to value there is so much better for you. And you can focus on the core competency and, more importantly, the idea of realization to get to product market fit. That's one. Second is pick your partners, and particularly your investors, carefully. It's more about the individual and the partner versus the firm, right? And a lot of times people get enamored with maybe the label of the firm, and frankly, even in the public markets, the banker or the banking institution, but it's more about the individual and the connection you can establish with them, because they're going to help guide you through these various chapters that you're going to go through in terms of the journey of the company. Better if you have that rapport and relationship with that individual versus just the name of the firm.
Absolutely, that makes a lot of sense. And I like it being phrased as a journey, because I do agree that we're at the very beginning of a very long journey to come.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your insight and for joining me tonight.
I appreciate being here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Emily Drury from NASDAQ here at the Open Cloud Summit in San Francisco. Thanks for tuning in.